Hi and welcome to another episode of Top Volts, and today we're going to be looking at this Alfa Romeo. So this is the MM C65, first released in 1962, and it's part of their third edition catalogue. This is actually based on the 1931 Alfa Romeo 8C race car, which I think for a 1962 model is absolutely amazing. The detail that they've gone to is incredible, from like just even the detail on the front with the lights, the grille, even down to the driver. It's incredible, really, when you think about the models that they were releasing in the 1960s. They really went to town on this. So this is the first generation Scalextric Alfa Romeo. These were released a couple of more times later on, like in 20 years later from now, from 1962. They were released again in 1980, 1982, and I think again in 1992. And each time they just changed the motor and the guides and bits and bobs. Like this is running the RX motor with a circular pickup. This one's missing one of the braids, which we'll do in this video. We'll open this up and have a little look inside just to make sure that RX motor is operating as it should, and we can have a little look inside and see how clean it is and see if there's any works that needs to be done. So let's get into this and we'll have a little look inside. I'd get the tools together and we can open this up. Okay, so let's have a little look inside. So I think we'll just carefully remove the driver, put him to one side. So this is held together by one screw at the front and a retaining clip at the back. The retaining clip doesn't pull out all the way, it just stops halfway. And you've got a slotted screw just at the front here, which is usually not very tight at all. Okay, and that should be that. Let me just see if that will fall out. Perfect. So we'll just put that to one side. And then we'll just carefully lift the body shell off. Okay, great. So looking on the underside of that body shell, it looks to... dash has just come away there, so we'll put that to one side. That looks very clean inside there, very clean. So there's nothing needed doing to this. What's really nice on this is, where on a lot of the Scalextric cars you're screwing a metal screw into a plastic thread, this is actually a brass thread to go with the brass screw, which is a nice little touch, really. That means they've really thought about this. So we'll just put this to one side. Front axle we can put to one side for now. So looking in here, this RX motor looks very clean. Yeah, so this hasn't had a lot of use at all, really. When you look how nice and shiny and clean that is. That is really nice. And these RX motors are hinged, so you can hinge this motor up. So if you just wind the axle back, and you can see you've got a hinge point. So this allows access to both sides, so you can check the brushes to both sides of the motor. And we can lift those brushes up just to inspect them. That looks great in there. That looks very clean. And the same on the back. No, that all looks good. So we'll just wind that back. So when lowering the motor back in, a kind of helpful tip really is try not to jam it in and force it in, because you'll just cause damage to the rear gear or the pinion. It looks like this has had a change out, so somebody's removed the old metal rear gear for a more modern plastic one, but it's still got the original metal pinion. So when you're lowering this motor back into place, just wind the gear in at the same time, and it just allows that just to mesh nicely, so you're not forcing that in and causing any damage. These run the really nice sort of brass rear bearings here. So I think with this, all we'll do, we'll just give the motor a little drink of oil, just to lubricate by the pin and just by the center spine there, where you've got these two felted type sponge, which help retain the oil in those two locations. These are the 2 points of friction really in the motor. So we just put a tiny bit of oil in there. So straight down on that spine. And again, just on the underside of the pinion. And then we just turn that in and just allow that oil to run down and sit in that sponge type felt area. That runs very, very smooth. Okay, perfect. So that leads us on to the front pickup, where we're missing one of the braids. So what we'll do here with these, you literally pull these straight out. So you can pinch them from the sides. You can see there's like little grippy areas either side of it. So you should be able to just pull that and wiggle that out. That should come just dead straight. Perfect. And then what you have, these two areas, sorry for knocking the camera, you've got these two areas which should make contact with the braid. So we'll just remove that old braid from there, and I'll grab a couple of new ones. So we'll just push that braid through. And then the other one as well. And they literally just slot through. So you can see them sticking out the top there. And then this then pushes straight back in again. And it pinches those two braids. So there should be a click as you push in. Just make sure they're making good contact and then push gently. Okay, that's perfect. So that's gone straight back into place. And that's holding those braids really nice. So we'll trim those braids back. Just to like a more required length really. Let's grab a pair of scissors. And just there in line with the screw would be perfect. Okay, that's great. So we'll just place all this back together. So first things first, if you grab the body shell and just place the front axle into place. With these, you have got these two brass collets either side. So you just need to make sure they're just pushed to the edge. So just drop that back into the body shell and you can see it sits in nice and snug. And then just lower the chassis into place. Perfect. And that's all sitting very, very snug. With these, you just want to make sure you just pull that catch back before you try and squeeze that down. And then just gently push that back in. Perfect. And that's holding that nicely. And we'll just drop the screw back in the front. Okay, great. Okay, so the only thing left to do is that we'll push the driver off and back into place. Just going to lift the steering wheel up as we do. Perfect. Okay, that's great. So we'll give this a little run up just to make sure that that motor is operating as it should and all the wires are making good connection. But this all looks to be very, very free, which is lovely. We'll give it a little run up and see just to make sure it is operating as it should. Okay, so we'll just start the volts low, slowly increase, just allow that RX motor just to make sure those brushes are bedded in nice. So we'll just get the power on here and I'm just going to lift the back wheels ever so slightly. Okay, that came on very, very nice. I'm just going to increase the volts. So hold it on there properly. Okay, that's running really, really nice. Just bring that back. Okay, that's operating lovely. Okay, well, thank you very, very much for watching my video. I really do hope you've enjoyed the content, found some of the tips of use. As always, if you have any information on this car that you would like to share, any other advice, or even information that you think might be of use on this particular car, that would be great. If you just leave it down in the comment section, I'll try my very, very best to get back to you. But thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.